Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to just a talk today. I was thinking of Nick and I. We do the sermons on the couch for Spotify and all the different podcasts, so we can just upload it, our talk. So we'll take a topic, and I was thinking, we had done a podcast recently on this first obstacle to peace, and I wanted to go a bit further into it. This first obstacle to peace, and really ultimately, just expand on it. And I think because once you can understand it and start to see it in your life, you'll start to see how often it plays out, and it can be really powerful for relieving people of suffering, of challenges, and when they're feeling like their life isn't working, or it's they're really in a tough place. But it could also be beneficial for those of us where we feel like we're thriving and vibrant as well. So welcome to everyone that's joining and jumping on. And the first obstacle to peace, it's really great. So the first obstacle to peace, and this is from Course in Miracles. So if you've ever studied the Course, even if you haven't, it's one of my favorite books and teachings that I always love to go back to. So these obstacles to peace in the Course, it has 4 obstacles to peace. And I'll probably go through them at different times. Each of them is really powerful. And the first obstacle to peace is what the Course calls the desire to get rid of it. I want you to just think for a moment for yourself, because I can speak on my own behalf. I can tell you, I've been studying the Course. I've been teaching it like this weekly for almost 20 years, like over a third of my life. And I can just tell you, knowing it, I still have lost my peace so many times. I've thrown away my peace so many times. So you'll start to understand and see this for yourself, that around this first obstacle to peace. So the first obstacle to peace is that when you have peace, we want to get rid of it. So just think about that for a moment. When you have peace, you want to get rid of it. Now, for most people, if I was talking to you or I was working with someone, I'd say, you don't really want peace. They'd go, well, what are you talking about? No, of course I do. No, I really want peace. I mean, of course I do. But you really don't, because you start to see how often we throw it away. So the first obstacle to peace is the desire to get rid of it, is that when I have peace, I want to get rid of it. Well, why do I want to get rid of it? Because my judgments of the world and the way I see my brothers, sisters, other people, and the world out there, my judgment is ultimately creating a war within me. The Course wouldn't say creating, it's actually making a war within myself, because anywhere where I'm at odds with or resistant to or in conflict with the world or a person or thing I see out there, it generates conflict and war within myself. It really actually comes from that. The Course says that we have this place in us of separation and of not enough that we project out onto the world, and that's the world that we see. So we actually would rather be right about our projections and what we see, and that you did this to me or it did this to me and you're separate from me. We'd rather be right about that than actually have peace. So that's why when we have it, we want to get rid of it, because ultimately it's as though the Course says, like, what do you think peace would rob you of? Well, actually, one of the things we think it would rob us of, if I choose peace, I let go of my judgments of how things should be and my attack and condemnation. And then I let all things be exactly as they are. And it doesn't mean that I don't, have a life where I'm, working on things, changing things are happening. I have, the day-to-day living, of course, all kinds of things like that happen. But there's this fundamental understanding in our hearts that ultimately the world I see out there is a result of the picture of what I truly want within myself, what I truly desire. Do I desire a place of connection to God and to my true self, and which this world and this life is a place to heal and to bless? Or do I use this as a place to, establish separation, me as a body, a separate identity, where I'm attempting to fight against the world out there, which is always constantly trying to rob my peace from me. And it becomes a conflict that I need to make myself more special in my own eyes and the eyes of the world. do I want that to be my reality? And it's one or the other, ultimately. So the first obstacle to peace is that when you have peace, you want to get rid of it. And then just look for yourself. Don't even take my word for it. Don't take the course's word for it. How often do you throw away your peace? I mean, just look at it in the course of the day. So let's even define this for everyone, is that throwing away my peace means any thought that's not joyous. So any thought that's not a joyful or a joyous thought, or a thought that is the happy lightheartedness, God goes to me wherever I go. Everything's always working out on my behalf. Like there'd be a sigh of relief, a sense of calmness, a certainty. Yeah, any of those thoughts would be like a joyous type thought. So it's either that, and if it's not that, then what it is these thoughts of separation, which just shows you how often we go to throwing away our peace. So that's why the first obstacle to peace is that when you have it, you want to get rid of it. So what I'm saying, don't take my word for it. You look in your life, look in your day-to-day living. How many opportunities do we all have had to be joyful, to be glad, to be at peace that we throw away? And that just shows you the first obstacle to peace. Like, start to look for yourself in your own life. Start to look for where it shows up in your relationships, at work, like your day-to-day living, where, oh, wow, I saw that thought. You start to watch your thoughts. I saw that thought. Oh, that's not a joyous thought. Okay, I see that thought. Like, there's me throwing peace away again. Wow, look at, I'm doing it again. And you start to really, you start to see that it's as though there's a thief in our house. And the thief is in your presence. It's in your thoughts. I had a teacher in India once say, he's like, you need to start watching the thief. It's not because you're trying to get something from the thief. You're just tired of getting robbed. So I'm always watching the thief, that is throw away the peace. And that's the first obstacle, is that when we have peace, we want to get rid of it. So thank you for everyone that's listening in. I don't really know how to do lives that well. I mean, I see all the people that are joining, and it's great to have everyone on. And if you have maybe questions, you could send us a message or put comments in. I've been sharing this stuff for a really long time. Like I said, I started over a third of my life. So I love to share this with people, and there's hopefully you can apply it and find peace in your own experience, peace in your life. Because ultimately, if you don't have peace, you don't have anything. Like, think about it. A mind that's at war against itself in any way cannot know the peace of God. It's just you have a choice. We all have a choice of, which do I want? And when you start to realize that one gives you everything and the other choice gives you nothing, it becomes a really super simple and easy choice. So I hope you make that choice today and continue to make it from now and throughout your life. So thank you, everyone, for joining. I don't really even know how to stop the live. So if you have any questions, you want to type them in, you can. And let's see here.